It is said the only constant is change in college football, but over more than 150 years, there have been some things that you can count on. If you can run the football, you have a chance to win. And boy, do we have guys who can do that in this one. Welcome to Bridgeport Stadium in Harrisonburg, Virginia, home to the James Madison Dukes. As we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Florida Gators, taking on a team from the Sun Belt, the James Madison Dukes. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, here with David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get this thing rolling. And the Dukes ready to put toe to leather and get this season started. On the move from inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. The Gators offense will go to work first. And Jesse, in this age of transfers, quarterbacks are the hottest commodities. We've seen this guy, but now different uniform, different surroundings. It's his job to get everybody going in the same direction.
Well, he just has to take command of this offense early. And listen,
turns it on down the left side. The 20. And he's brought down after a huge completion.
Well, after that last play, you can see how electrifying this guy is and how special he is after he makes the catch. If I'm on offense, I'm trying to find a lot of ways to get him touches in this game.
They didn't just jumpstart that drive. They've electrified it, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Wide receiver going in motion. Quick strike complete. And they'll shove him out of bounds after the short gain. They've moved it forward to the 2. Now it's 2nd and goal. Trying to bully their way in. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Florida! They're on the board first here in the season opener.
And you just cannot draw up the start of a season any better than that. Opening drive of the first game of the year and quick fire. You're down the field scoring 6. This offense is explosive.
And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And finish the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. On the run from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. So the James Madison Dukes offense headed onto the field. Our first look at them today. And there has been a lot of talk about this guy. Jesse, they say the farther away you line up from the football, the easier it is to play early. When you're as good as this dude, you're going to play no matter what.
Well, this offense knew he was good coming out of high school, but talking to their quarterback and their coaching staff before the game, David, they didn't know he was this good. He's made catches in practice. He's done things in scrimmage that is completely wowing everybody. Now the question.
And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10. He was lurking, waiting for his opportunity, and like a gator in the swamp, he went into the roll and got that quarterback.
They did. I tell you what, when you want to be dominant in this league, if Florida wants to get back to being a dominant team, it's got to be guys like this in the trenches dominating football games.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Here comes the heat. And a missed opportunity on 3rd down as the defense knocks it free, and 4th down is coming up. The Dukes will try to pin them back with the punt. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return gets a little bit of ground for the offense. They'll start this drive with a pass. Complete. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. They'll run play action. Working that left side now. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. Looking to throw on third. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up. The Gators will bring the punt team onto the field. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. They'll get this drive started from the 29. Makes the quick grab. Good pickup, a little bit short of the sticks. And the Dukes with a second and short to keep this drive moving. Back to pass. Here's a heat. Here comes the rush, and they've got it wrapped up at the 28.
And the defense gets a huge play. I'll tell you, they've been wreaking havoc in this one so far. They've got so many athletes up front on this defensive line. It kind of reminds me about the defenses I used to go against in practice back in the late 90s. Guys like Javon Curse coming off the edge. The freak. It was a nightmare. So hard for our guys to block. We felt like game day was easier than what we faced in practice. And I tell you, this D-line by the Gators, what they got this year, they are special.
And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
And that time the defense dialed up a free safety blitz. They were able to get an extra number in the pass rush. Offensive line, running backs, they couldn't account for it. And that free safety able to get to the quarterback.
The Dukes will punt this one away. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. He was working his way on the return toward midfield. They'll stop him at the 46. First snap of this drive will come from the 46. Looking to throw on first down. Through his hands and incomplete. He normally makes that catch every time it's second down. Motion from the wide receiver. Now the play fake. This time on target. Guys, let's chat about Florida. Everybody uses the portal to varying degrees. Sometimes you just fill the exact right hole that you want. And this team, as they start this season, not a ton of new faces here, Jesse.
They didn't, but I don't think it's because there was a lack of effort on the part of the coaches, David. I think they believe they've got the roster in place now to have success.
Yeah, because when you bring people in, a lot of times you tick people off on your own roster. So when you only bring a few in, you cherry pick some elite talent and some real concerns that you have, sometimes it just addresses everything you need.
Quickly out to the tight end. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down. And the Gators are on the move. They'll give it to the back. He jukes his way for more. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down. They'll run this play from the pistol. Now from inside the red zone. And they couldn't make the connection on the long shot. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. It's complete to the left. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The Gators come to the ball trying to pick up this third and short. Looking to throw. Get it out on the screen. He gives them a fresh set of downs, and this one will be first and goal from the 6. New set of downs right on the doorstep for this offense. He'll keep it himself. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about.
Offside, defense.
Good job by the QB there, using his cadence, using his clapping, trying to get this defense offside.
Trying to pound their way in. Touchdown, Gators! Great job by the back on the option.
Yeah, and now this offense building that lead. It's still the first half, but I tell you what, shown some glimpses of why they could become a really, really good offense. Listen, you go into halftime, more of the same, right? Continue to do what you're doing, take care of the football. This offense has looked really good in the first half.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Boys, if it's happening in college football, we've got eyes on it. Check this out. Appalachian State is down, but they are not out of it. Not inside Kid Brewer Stadium, one of the best home field advantages in all of college football. It's just a field goal game. They're trailing by 3 to East Carolina.
They'll run it from the gun.
Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business. Gentlemen.
Thanks for the update on that one. Kevin, let us know when it goes final. Off the play fake on first down. Just too much mustard on that one. Can't miss the target that badly. Working well behind the sticks on second down. After the incompletion, they go back up top. Sets up the screen. Breaks into the open. Across the 35, out of bounds at the 36, and a really good pickup as they're starting to move. Wants to throw on first down. Hit as he throws. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the missed timing. Backed up now. Here's second and long. They'll throw again after the incompletion. Rush coming in hot, and they got him at the 29.
Talking to the coaches before the game, they wanted to start fast. This offense, man, not only have you not put anything together, the defense hasn't either. This game has gotten away from them early. They need to do a better job of protecting their quarterback.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On third and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again.
Quarterbacks don't have high completion percentages from their backs. It's been really hard for this QB to get in any kind of rhythm. We've got to change something up here. We've got to do something different because right now it's just a sack party.
And the Dukes will call on their punt team. Hauls it in, looking for space. That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense. One back in the backfield, he gets to carry. A 7-yard pickup, it'll be 2nd and 3. The Gators with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. The give to the tailback. They went right back to him, and this time the defense was all over him. Nothing to show for that run. On third and short, they'll try to throw for it. Got his man quickly. Third down conversions are huge, and they've got one, and they're at the 35. Looking downfield on first down. Bringing the heat. Strong pass rush gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46.
Man, that's exactly what this defense needs. They found themselves now in a hole. They're trailing. Got to get pressure on this QB. Can't give him time to get comfortable. They get to him, get the big sack. Maybe this gets them back in the football game.
And the Gators with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Gonna sling it on second down. Looking to the big tight end. He makes a catch. They get him corralled, but not until he's in the red zone. They'll mark it at the 14. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Gators are moving quickly down the field. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. He'll step out of bounds at the 11. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. The give to the back. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. That ball is intercepted at the goal line. He's knocked down, but what a play to come up with the interception.
A big part about playing the quarterback position is turning the page, playing the next play, not letting bad plays beat you. And that's his first career interception in college football, so that's going to sting. But now you've got to get back out there and lead your team.
They are backed up, defense smelling blood as this drive starts at the 5. Wide receiver comes in motion. The give from the gun. And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it. So 2nd down here as we're back at it after the break. We've come to the end of the quarter, and it's Florida on top. They came out and jumped on them early in the first. Let's take a break and look at the first quarter stats. Big turning point as we head into the 2nd and get this game rolling again. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. They go to the ground. Gets a nice surge and crosses the 5 to the 6-yard line, a pickup of 3. You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. And they are pushing the ball down the field. A big pickup on that one, and the tackle is finally made.
I know this isn't the start the offense wanted. They don't have any points so far in this game, but sometimes it just takes one explosive play to turn things around. And after that beautiful completion deep for the offense, that should give them a little confidence, a little momentum. They've now got us to be able to score points on this drive.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. To the air on 2nd down. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense. They'll come to the line at the 42, facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Boom. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
I tell you what, if I'm this QB, I am ill as a hornet at my offensive line. Are you kidding me? That's the 6th time they put me on the ground. Dudes, will y'all protect me a little bit better, please?
The Dukes line up to punt it away.
On to kick it away.
On the move, looking for a little sliver of hope. And he's going to get it up to about the 29-yard line before he's brought down. Motion from the wideout. They're going to throw it to start the drive. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on 1st down. What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? Makes the grab on the left. Oh, he's got some space. They finally get him on the ground, and this junior turning in a big play after the catch. The Gators want to move quickly.
Nice job by the quarterback, seeing the receiver come open, getting him the football, making the 1st down, and they like to do this. When they make a 1st down, they want to go fast. They want to crank up the tempo.
Here comes the offense on 2nd down.
2nd down coming up.
Looking to throw again. Hauls it in. Hauled down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the 1st down. And the Gators come to the line with a fresh set of downs. The give. Noses ahead to the 30-yard line, a pickup of 1. Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. They'll run it out of the shotgun. Wrestled down at the 26. It's a gain of 4. 3rd and short from the 26. Pretty easy field goal range, but they'd love to pick up the 1st. finding open areas. Touchdown, Florida! Hauled that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score.
Man, I've been really impressed with this offense this first half. Coming in a hostile environment, hostile crowd, man, they haven't given them anything to cheer about. Offense, defense, now up 20-0, and these people are eerily quiet in here.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And with the extra point, they're up 21-0. A 70-yard touchdown drive. Kickoff unit back to work, and they have been busy as they've built this sizable lead. He'll start the return inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. They'll move the wide receiver. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Shoots it to the left. He's got it. Out to the 32-yard line before he goes out of bounds, and that's the way to give a little start to the drive. To the air on first down. Fires to the tight end. Excellent job rallying to the ball, and they knock him down. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Looking to fire. They've got the screen set up. All the way out across the 45-yard line. Mark it out of bounds at the 46. This offense has been sluggish to say the least, but finally they're on the move on 1st and 10. Out of the gun to give to the back. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. And the Dukes have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Wants to go up top. Finds his tight end. They'll finally drag him down, but not before he gets it to the 40, and it's a first down. New set of downs after the completion. Got a man. Oh, it's loose. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover.
Hold it.
Had it in his hands, and he dropped it. Thought he had another big play and interception. He'll have to settle for the PBU. It's 2nd down. Makes the catch. Nice gain on that play, but a little bit short of the first down. The Gators line up, trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Back open in the middle. He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47. Looks as if the defense was a little too eager there, got into the neutral zone, and that'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Neutral zone action. Defense.
Neutral zone infraction will push the ball up 5 yards. Defense made that job a little easier after the encroachment. It's 1st and 5. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Now on 2nd down. Back to pass. Going to try to pop one on the screen. There he goes. Rolls inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 29, and now they're threatening.
Out of bounds at the 29-yard line.
And some room to work. And he's brought down after a nice gain. The Gators back to the line on 1st down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. He'll pull it on the read. Doing damage on the ground as he runs it down to the 11-yard line. Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. They'll wrestle him down at the 4-yard line after that run. And the Gators trying to pay off the threat on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He's going for the goal line. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Gators!
You
talk about going on the road and making a statement. 27-0. Hostile environment be danged. You talk about home field advantage? Well, it hasn't worked. They have come in and had answers and started this first half as good as you possibly can.
And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
A bit of an under-the-radar game this week, guys, but take a look at this. Bowling Green has been able to call its shots offensively. As impressive a performance as I've seen from this group in some time. They're up 14 over the Rebels. We've got our eye on this one and everything else going on throughout the day, guys.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. And he's brought down after a nice game. They'll start this one from the 29 on first down. Wants to go up top on first down. And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. And the defense got it.
On back-to-back drives, this offense can't get out of their own way. They fumble again. Man, a lot of times you get fired when you fumble. This is another guy. Like, they're going to have to fire the whole team if they keep this pace going.
The Gators sending the offense back to work. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys
nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. Recovered by the defense, and he's off. Touchdown, James Madison. The defense takes matters into its own hands.
That defenses are always trying to force turnovers to get the ball back to their offense, make those big plays. You know what the cherry on the sundae is? When you force the turnover, the pill hits the ground, you scoop it up, and you take it all the way back to the house. Huge play for this defense.
Lining up for the PAT.
Is on for the extra point.
The extra point is good, but they're still down 28-7. The scoop and score. What a lift it can give to the defense. Not content to get the ball. They wanted to do something with it, and they did. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Off play action on first down. Unloads to the wideout. That is just a sideline clinic. Throw, catch, toe drag, everything you want. Hand off from the shotgun. Just sort of a relentless run, getting everything that was available to him, and they'll mark him down at the 40. They'll go to the air on second and short. They're working that left side. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. The Gators come to the line on third and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. They'll try to get it through the air. Got his man downfield. They convert on third down as he gets it to the 46-yard line. The Gators will snap it on first and 10. Quarterback on the keeper. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Lost one on that last one. It's second and 11. Looking to fire. Pressure coming. And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
Well, obviously, at this point in the first half, the defense is finding themselves in a hole. You just get the feeling if they're going to get back in this, they're going to need more plays like that. They're going to need sacks. They're going to need turnovers. They're going to have to create negative plays to get themselves some momentum.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Off the RPO, complete. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. And the Gators will send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Fair catch is signaled for and made. They'll mark it at the 12, and they'll start in a bit of a hole. Trying to start the drive with a pass. And he will be sacked at the 6-yard line. They'll immediately call timeout. They've already racked up big sack numbers. It's starting to snowball, and they are ready to go again. Wants to fire on second down. Got it set up on the outside. And a little bit of breathing room after that gain. He's out of bounds at the 11. Wow, this offense is just stuck in the mud. They've already punted 4 times, and it's third down now. He'll be brought down at about the 18-yard line. Not enough to move the sticks. Referee signals timeout. It's the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. Punt is on its way. Wants to return it. Returns like that are why you don't settle for the fair catch if you don't have to. Picks up just a little bit of yards to help out the O. They'll start this drive going to the air. Fires to the big fella. That's a really good tackle there, giving up some size and still making the play. Quick timeout from the offense to save precious seconds. Second down, they'll go to the air. Gets it out fast. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down. The Gators want to pick up the tempo. Double time, hustling to the line to stop the clock. They're dealing with a second and long. Wants to throw, he's working against the clock. Tight end finds a soft spot. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. And quickly to the line of scrimmage, they spike it and stop the clock. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Looking downfield, and time is running short. Pass is incomplete. The clock is down to 9. And it's third down, but they're taking no chances. They'll send the field goal unit out before halftime. Never a doubt. And they'll push that lead out a little further.
That makes the score Florida 31, James Madison 7.
That late in the half field goal always gives you a little boost going to the locker room, and they'll need to finish off these final few seconds and not allow them to answer. He'll bring it up, just keeps moving. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. So the offense has had enough. They'll take a knee and wrap up this first half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Fellas, you've had yourselves a great broadcast so far today in Harrisonburg. And it's been an absolute clinic in fundamental defensive football so far. A total standoff with both teams refusing to give an inch. And I know this new era of football is about chucking it all over the yard and just outscoring the other team. But this game is a throwback, and to be honest, it's refreshing. And with that, let's head back to the guys at Bridgeforth Stadium.
The Gators will kick it off to start the second half. And he'll bring it back. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. A little bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line.
This defense has taken the game over. They're winning the game in large part because of how dominant they've been up front and how good their pass rush has been.
The Dukes now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Under fire. It's incomplete. That also might be what is called a learning experience and one this freshman got away with. On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. And it's an incomplete pass on the deep shot, but the flag is down. Let's check the call.
Hold offense.
This defense happy with how that last play turned out, so they'll decline the penalty. And the Dukes will line up to punt it away. And these guys have been busy. 6th punt of the day. Makes the catch around the 50. And the coverage team gets the returner on the ground. Offense working from the pistol. Going to the running game. Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Went to the running game on 1st down. Now here they come again. The give to the running back from the shotgun. And he was able to run through one tackle, but still only a modest gain. Now facing a 3rd and long. Trying play action. He's got his man across the middle. 3rd down conversions are huge, and they've got one, and they're at the 35. Working that left side now. Stopped after a good pickup, and he'll be just a tad short of the 1st down. And the Gators can really attack on this 2nd and short. Finds the tight end. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on 1st down off the play fake. Good hands in there by the defense to force the incompletion.
How about the linebacker breaking on the football, seeing the quarterback, the ball comes out, he moves right to where the ball's going, nice anticipation, and swats the ball to the ground.
They'll try the run. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. The Gators need their binoculars to find that line to gain here on 3rd down. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. He can't find enough room. Stopped at the 17, and it brings up a 4th down. They'll play it safe and try for 3. Right down the boulevard. It's good. And now the lead is extended a little further. They're really starting to extend that lead as they get ready to kick it away again. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. They'll get this drive going from the 17. Grabbed over the middle. It's Robbins. He moves the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 33. With the 1st down, they'll put it in play from the 33. Use the play fake, now to throw. And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26.
Play-action pass success has a lot to do with selling that fake. You could tell defense was not buying it, got in the backfield, got the big play.
The Dukes trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. 2nd down, he'll throw it. Oh, they're after him. Lets it fly on the move. He's got it. Major gaps in that defense, and he got loose, and they finally knock him down at the 41. And the Dukes will line it up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. And the defense will corral the quarterback, and down he goes at midfield. This offense tried to go right back to the well or right back to the air, and the defense was ready this time.
And a great response from the defense. You give up a big play, a huge chunk play that you didn't want to give up. Don't hang your head. Now play the next play. Played it aggressively, went and got the sack. Way to respond.
The play action fake. And he feels the heat coming, and it burns him up. Another sack.
Well, this offense keeps giving up sacks, and they keep finding themselves in situations like this, 3rd and long right now. They don't have many points in this game, and this is a big reason why. It's hard to score if you don't keep the 3rd downs manageable. So moving forward, whether it's running the football on 1st and 2nd or throwing short passes earlier in the drives, they've got to change things up because taking sacks like this is killing this offense.
And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. Oh, the fumble, and the defense got it.
That's why you got to avoid 3rd and long situations if you're on offense, because the defense knows it's pass, and all these guys are pinning their ears back. They're getting upfield, and you're under so much duress. On top of that, you give up a fumble. That is a huge play for the defense.
Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. They kicked a field goal on the last drive, Jesse. They've got the lead. Don't make a dumb mistake, but maintain your aggressive play calling.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think it's for the play caller right now, just taking a look at that script he's got in front of him and finding out where are my playmakers, who can we take advantage of on this defense to get a touchdown here, David.
Yeah, and just keep moving the ball down the field and just execute a little bit better in the red zone. There's no need to panic. We're moving the football, and we got the lead.
He's got it on the right. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. 3rd and long coming from the 27-yard line. You can make a field goal from here. Just don't take a negative play. Wants to throw again. Quickly complete. This defense makes a play, stopping him well short, and it'll be 4th down from the 24. Never a doubt. And they just tack on a little more to this gargantuan lead. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Boys, expect the unexpected in college football, and for some, this update could fall under that category. Michigan State dominated almost from wire to wire, and a game like this makes you harken back to those Connor Cook-led Sparty teams that won Big Ten titles in 2013 and 2015. All that speculation all week, and now we know. But something tells me, fellas, we haven't heard the last of either of these teams.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. Very little running room, if any, and he just hasn't had anywhere to go in this one. Throws to the tight end. Complete in the middle. He's got enough for the 1st down. They'll spot it at the 37.
That's a huge throw for the offense, but they're down by a ton. They're going to need a lot more of that, and it's not going to be easy considering the defense knows they're probably going to be throwing the ball every play here in the 2nd half moving forward.
He'll do it himself. A most efficient pickup of 6 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 4. The give to the back. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. The Dukes are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. He'll go to the sneak.
The offense just continues to matriculate the ball downfield, and they're finding a lot of different ways to generate these 1st downs. They do it right there on the quarterback sneak.
Throws for the tight end. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on 1st down. 2nd down coming. So now it's 2nd and long. Off the bootleg and rolling out. Not much of a chance there. He just had to get rid of it to avoid the sack. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. And trying to put points on the board on 3rd down. Now they're staring at 4th down. And the Dukes decide to punt it away. Boy, they had a chance to track that thing down, but it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. They'll run the RPO and throw it right. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. The RPO, it's complete. Found a little bit of room to operate, but he'll be stopped just short of the first down. The Gators really need to keep this drive alive on third down. Reads it, fires complete. He's run out of bounds, but he's got enough to move the sticks. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these third down situations.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Wants to go up top. Fakes the grab. They'll move the chains after he gets it to the 43-yard line. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Out of the gun, the running back has it. They get in the backfield and make the play, and that's how they'll finish off this third period. We've reached the break. It's Florida with the lead. And it hasn't been much of a contest as we take a look at the overwhelming game stats through 3. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the 4th. It'll be 2nd down as we open the final stanza. Back to pass. Works the middle. And he slips the first defender and picks up a handful of yards. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And the Gators are at the line trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. On 3rd and short, they keep it on the ground here. Turning it on! The freshman brought down after a really nice run there. The Gators have it with a 1st and 10.
And that's the first down.
The pull and throw off the RPO. They make the stop, not a whole lot of ground picked up there, and they'll have work to do to get the first down. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Off the play fake. He's got him in the flat. Excellent job working through the air. They're finding a hole in that defense and picking up a first down.
Good enough for a first down.
Wide receiver going in motion. He'll keep it himself. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. Got some work to do on 2nd down after that last one. They need 13. From the gun, the ground game. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. Boy, they'd love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal. The run from the shotgun. Knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard. So here comes the field goal unit again. This kicker has already made 3 in this one. Splits the uprights. Good. And that'll add 3 more to a lead that is already way out of hand.
And they just tack on more points to this big lead. Listen, 4th quarter was sitting extremely pretty. All we got to do, not give up big plays, make them earn everything they get the rest this way, and we looking pretty good.
And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Looking to throw on 1st down. Trying to set up the screen. And that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning. And now to try to put things in motion on 2nd and long from the 15. That may not look like a huge run, but they'll take it as it gets them up to the 24. The Duke come to the line on 3rd down, trying to keep this drive alive. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. Down by multiple possessions, you can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Oh, he dropped it. Just didn't look it all the way in, and they'll turn it over on downs. And that decision will be questioned for a while. It's complete on the right side. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Handoff from the gun. He rumbles all the way down to the 2-yard line. He gave him a little bit of everything on that one. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Gators have it with a 1st and goal. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Florida.
And add it on again. This offense has done whatever they want, however they want, and this lead has ballooned. When you start a season off, you want to build momentum. You want to defeat an opponent and beat them badly. That's exactly what they've done. This team looks ready to compete for a national championship.
And the extra point just tacks a little bit more onto this huge lead. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. On the move from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Coming out on first down with the play fake. And the Heat gets there, and they get him down at the 14-yard line.
I know this defense came into this game hoping to get pressure on the quarterback, but I don't know in their wildest dreams if they ever thought it was going to look this good. I lost track at 5 sacks. They have been all over this quarterback today.
And the Dukes with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Motion from the wide receiver. Off play action. And the defense gets loose, bringing the Heat, and down he goes again.
And this has been one of those days you want to forget. I mean, you're getting drunk. There's no other way to put it. It's been a bad day. I'm trying to put a drive together here, maybe to just get some kind of momentum, something positive, maybe something in the locker room we can talk about that didn't go wrong.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. He'll pull it on the read. What a play by this defense, and they stop him short. It'll be 4th down. The Dukes will punt it away on 4th down. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. He gets a block. Return's going to get it up around midfield. He'll be down at the 49-yard line. So first play of the drive coming here from their own 49. Wide receiver comes in motion. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Finds his big tight end. Crosses the 35, out of bounds there. Nice pickup on the play, spotted at the 32.
And that's good enough for a first down.
They'll leave it with the lone back. Picks up the first down. The freshman brought down after a really nice run there. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They've moved it to the 19, 1st and 10. Trying to cap this drive with the pass. He's got him. He stopped just a chain link or 2 away from the first down and sets them up beautifully here. Motion from the wideout. This is a designed run. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in. The offense threatening, close to the end zone now with a new set of downs. They'll run it on 1st and goal. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Gator!
And I just love what I'm seeing from this team. Like, going on the road, game 1, where you're still figuring out who you are and what you do well. Another scoring drive by this offense. Looks like they're going to get the dub in a hostile environment to start the season.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point is good. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
A lot of eyeballs on your game, guys, and a few on this interesting matchup as well. Appalachian State is down, but they are not out of it. Not inside Kidd Brewer Stadium, one of the best home field advantages in all of college football. They're trailing by 9 to East Carolina. Your boy KC has you covered.
What a job to lay out and make the catch. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 34. Wants to throw on 1st down. And he dropped it. It looked for all the world like that would be a catch, and he just got too excited. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Looking to fire. He's got it. He's really close to that 1st down marker, but they stop him just a bit short. And the Dukes come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep the drive moving. He's got 1st down yardage across the 50. They'll mark it at the 49. So they move the sticks on the run. Let's see what they do with this one. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. He'll pull it down and run. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Now inside 4 minutes to go here on 2nd down. Quarterback on the keeper. Makes it past the marker. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the 1st down. The Dukes kept this drive moving on the ground, now back to work. They'll run play action. He's got his man. They get him corralled, but not until he's in the red zone. They'll mark it at the 14. And the Dukes started this drive backed up in their own end, and now they've moved into position to score. Rushes on him. Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22. Oh, man, they've already lost one quarterback today. Now the backup comes in and has to take a shot.
Man, I might think about protecting my QB a little better. I already lost one. Now your 2nd guy gets hit, and you got to keep this guy healthy. You got to keep him upright. You got to protect your quarterback, man.
The Dukes have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Wants to go up top. And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
And every time he gets brought down, everybody kind of gasps for a second because you're already on quarterback number 2, and you got to protect him. You got to keep him upright and the least amount of hits as possible because you definitely don't want to go to QB number 3.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. The defense all revved up after that earlier sack, and they'll try to stop them right here. Under fire. Can't make the connection on 3rd down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's 4th down. And it looks as if they're going to try a field goal. It's good. He could have hit a string right in the middle of the uprights there. Well, they got 3 back, but that's about all you can say.
And I know a lot of people are scratching their heads why they try to kick that field goal. You're in the 4th quarter. You're down a boatload of points. A field goal isn't going to do it. If you want to win this game, you need touchdowns. I would anticipate for every possession they get from here on out, man, you've got to be way more aggressive.
Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Off the play fake on 1st down. Makes a grab down the middle. There he goes. The tag. And we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown.
And it hasn't mattered what they've called guys offensively all game long or who's been on the field, what personnel groupings there have been. They're simply executing at a higher level than this defense, and they're keeping their foot on the pedal here in the 4th quarter.
He'll try to tack on one more.
For the extra point.
And with that extra point, the lead remains in the gargantuan category. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead.
James Madison, 10.
From inside the 10, here he comes. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. Starts a drive trying to go up top. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
And, man, is that just indictment of the day. Your quarterback getting drilled late in the football game. This offense has sputtered. They haven't found any kind of good rhythm. They haven't done things that really gives your coach confidence and makes you want to believe in them. This offense has a lot of work to do before their next football game.
And the Dukes now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. That's caught. It's Knowles. They made the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on. Kick is in the air. Might have thought he'd want to try to pick up a few yards there, but he's content with making the fair catch right around the 35-yard line. Keeping it on the ground with the single back. Great pickup as they'll keep this drive moving, and they've got it at the 45.
First down for the offense.
We've waited so long to start the season, and just the way you want to start, getting that first victory.
And the first games are so much fun. You've been practicing against each other over and over all through camp. Now you get to come out, start the season off 1-0, Jesse. Great start.
It was a great start for the winning team. Now, for the losing team, obviously not the way you want to get into this season. There were some mistakes with execution, and guys are going to have to do a better job individually. But that's why you play the games. You get to now go back to the drawing board, get back on the practice field, try and iron out these wrinkles. It's a long season ahead. A lot to play for.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.